It's Mindset Tuesday, and I need to talk with my grown folks for a second because being 58 and choosing to move overseas isn't giving midlife crisis. For me, it's giving midlife courage. And today I'm going to tell you the real two fears I'm working through right now. One is learning a whole new workplace system, and the other is starting over socially. Like I'm the new kid on the block. But here's what you might find interesting. I almost didn't join the Air Force a long time ago. And if I had let fear win back then, my whole life would look a lot different now. So stay with me because I'm going to give you the mindset and the practical strategy for taking the leap when you're not 28 anymore. Hey friends, welcome back to Ways of Change. I'm Vanessa and this is day 20 of 100, posting every day while I take you on my overseas job hunt and the mindset it takes to keep your courage intact during this long process. It's Mindset Tuesday, so here's what you're going to get. A quick job hunt update. Today's mindset is courage and resiliency at 58. A true story about me almost not joining the Air Force. And a practical leap plan you could steal, especially if you're starting over socially or professionally. And if any part of this hits you, comment leap so I know I'm not talking to myself in here. So for our field report, no applications were submitted, and I'm not going to dramatize it. There just wasn't anything today that matched my goals. I did send 4 LinkedIn connection requests targeted to the areas I'm most focused on right now, which is Wiesbaden and Landstuhl. No DMs today, just connection requests. I'm testing a theory about who responds, with a message or without a message. I'll let you know how it plays out. Our lesson for today, if it don't fit, don't force it. Just keep it moving. I think that's a song. So I'm 58. I turned 58 this past November. And I want to say that out loud because I think a lot of people feel a way about admitting their true age. I'm proud of every one of my years, and you should be too. Not everyone makes it to this number. But at 58, you don't just take leaps the same way you did at 25. At 25, you'll jump first and figure it out in midair. I remember those days. But at 58, you're like, hold on. What's the landing look like down there? What's the health insurance? Where do I park? Who do I call if my printer breaks down? And that's not fear, really. That's wisdom. But wisdom can start sounding like fear if you let it talk too long. So when I say I'm taking a leap into unfamiliar territory, moving overseas, I'm not pretending it's easy. 2 things make it real for me. New systems, which is that workplace system. You can be brilliant and still feel like a beginner when you walk into a new workplace. New acronyms, new processes, new expectations, new culture. The second one is starting over socially. Y'all, starting over socially at 58 is a whole different kind of humble because you're not just looking for people to hang out with. We don't hang out like that no more. You're looking for community, safety, belonging, and someone who knows where the good grocery stores are. And here's what I've learned. Courage doesn't erase those realities. Courage just says, doggone it, I'm going anyway. So let me tell you why I'm not letting fear talk me out of this. Because I have receipts. I've done big moves before. I've rebuilt before. I've learned new environments before. I've been a single mother. How about that? That season alone will teach you courage in ways people don't understand unless they've lived it. Single motherhood doesn't just build endurance. It builds decision-making under pressure. It builds creativity. It builds grit. It builds the ability to keep moving even when you're tired and nobody's clapping for you. So when I think about moving overseas and learning a new workplace system and starting over socially, I'm not starting over from scratch. I'm starting from experience. And I need somebody watching this to hear that for themselves. You might be starting over, but you're not starting over empty. You have life skills. You've got pattern recognition. You've got emotional maturity. You've got wisdom you paid for. So yes, I'm 58, and yes, I'm nervous, but I'm also qualified to start over. And if that's not enough for you, let me anchor this in Scripture. Joshua 1:9 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And that wherever you go part, that line is for me. It could be for you too, but I take it personal. Not wherever you go when you feel ready. Not wherever you go when it makes perfect sense. Wherever you go. All right? Now let me tell you that Air Force story I was talking about earlier, because this is where the lesson gets real. There was a time in my life when I almost didn't join the military. And it wasn't because I didn't have the ability. It was because change is intimidating when you're standing at the edge of it. It's the unknown that gets loud. What if I fail? What if I don't fit in? What if I regret it? What if I'm not built for this? And I remember being right there on that edge, knowing it could change my life, but also knowing it could stretch me. And I'm so glad I didn't let fear make that decision for me, because that decision became a doorway. It became structure. It became skills. It became confidence I didn't have before. And that's why I'm able to say this now at 58. If I let fear win back then, I would have missed a version of myself I needed to be. And I feel the same energy now with moving overseas. Not because it's the same situation, but because the same emotions show up. That edge, that shaky feeling, that moment where you could stay comfortable or you become braver. So if you're watching this and you're standing on the edge of something, I'm not here to hype you up with fluff. I'm here to tell you the truth. The edge is normal. The fear is normal. But you don't have to obey it. Now let's get practical, because courage without a plan can turn into a real mess. Here's my LEAP plan. And yes, I made it an acronym because I'm a grown woman and I like a system. The L is for learn the system in layers. When you walk into a new workplace, don't try to master everything in 1 week. Do it in layers. Week 1, learn the people in the basic flow. Try to remember names. I think that's very important. Week 2, learn the tools and the key processes. Week 3, learn the unspoken rules. Who approves what matters most, who knows where the good coffee is. And ask for clarity early. Confusion becomes confidence faster when you ask questions with humility instead of hiding. E, expand your circle on purpose. Starting over socially doesn't mean forcing friendships, especially at 58. We don't do that. It means creating consistent points of connection. Say yes to one event a month. Join one community space, a church group, a wellness space. You can volunteer or go on one of those hobby adventures. Invite one person for coffee without pressure. You don't need a crowd. You need 2 or 3 solid connections that help you feel grounded. The A, accept newbie energy. This is probably my favorite, without shame. This is big at 58 though. You have to accept being new again, not incompetent, just new. There's a difference. Being new doesn't take away your value. It just means you're in a learning season, and learning seasons are part of growth. P, practice micro courage daily. Micro courage is the small stuff. Sending the connection request, introducing yourself first, asking the question, applying even when you're unsure, showing up without over-preparing. Micro courage is how you train your nervous system to stop treating change like danger. And every time you practice it, you build evidence. You have the receipts to say, I can handle new things. That's resiliency. So on days when there are no job postings, like today, the win might be, I still practice micro courage. Oh, those 4 connection requests is micro courage for me. And it counts. And I'm counting it. All right, friends. Thank you so much for being here for day 20 of 100. If you're 58, 48, or even 38, and you feel that pull towards something unfamiliar, let this be your reminder. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to take that leap. Comment leap if you're in a season of courage, big or small. And if you're following this overseas job hunt journey, subscribe and come back tomorrow. I'm showing up every day, and we're doing this one step at a time. Hey y'all, I'm Vanessa, and this is Waves of Change. I'll see you tomorrow for day 21. Bye now.